Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from my favorite place, the Fitchburg Star, our all-star, and on the naughty list, Kimberly. How are you doing?
Well, I was gonna say, is this the Fitchburg Star? Because don't tell anyone. This is West Madison. So
Hey, well, turn around and look behind you. That looks pretty starish and on the naughty list.
oh, that's true.
And is
Well,
that a picture of Favre in the background?
we
What
got
are
a picture
you
of
doing?
Favre. We got a picture of Bart. And we got a picture of our boy Aaron Rodgers. So I got three stars back there. So
oh my goodness, Jeep, are you
my
joining? You're joining the sports department, aren't you?
No, it's because my significant other is too lazy to put it up.
We'll leave it.
It's on the record.
It's on the record. We're gonna leave that alone and transition into our first update of the year. We'll start with the last council meeting and two developments coming up here. What do you have for information on that?
Yeah, so no one in Fitchburg is unaware that development is happening. Pretty much anywhere you drive, you can see development happening. But there's going to be some more. And so these two developments are certainly not through the development process yet, but what people can look forward to seeing going up in the next couple of months, years here are two developments. One is by McGaw Park, and that is going to hold the St. Ambrose Academy School. They've been searching for a couple of years now for where they're going to build something of their own after they were told that the place that they were leasing space from actually wanted to take it back. So they were unsuccessful in Fitchburg or unsuccessful in Verona. So now they've come to Fitchburg. And so that development is moving forward. And then there's housing that's going to be around it. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, or planning can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's about 400 units of housing that will go into that development around St. Ambrose. And that'll happen over the next couple of years. But so people can expect that. And then people can also expect a senior assisted living / primary care facility to be put up near McKee Farms Park. So that will probably be the more visible one. Both McGaw Park and McKee Park are both pretty heavily used, but since one is a little bit more often used for things like concerts and that kind of stuff, that project will be a little bit more visible. So, but those are just things that you can look forward to. Those processes through the Plan Commission and through council are not done, but they inch forward a little bit this week. So
there you have it. And certainly you can go back and check that meeting out in the past Plan Commission meetings if you want to learn more about those projects. We had a special COW meeting, committee of the whole, discussing the ARPA funding. And you will now break it down piece by piece, right?
I will not.
Kidding. Misty Dodge, our finance director.
In here. Misty's the expert, and I'm going to leave that to her. But some of the ideas that alders were bringing up to the mayor during this meeting. So how this meeting went down is Misty gave a pretty good overview of what you can use the American Rescue Plan funds for, which is federal funds that came out of the stimulus in 2021. We also have a tax district closure that will also provide some funds as well. So that comes out to about $6 million in revenue. And so some of the ideas that alders were kind of throwing out at the mayor include establishing a tree nursery, having a violence disruptor team, improvements to the parks, and then stormwater projects, which during the budget process got taken out of the budget in order to fit other initiatives and staff in. So the mayor should have his proposal by the end of the month here. I'm thinking it's next week, but I don't want to lock him into that with my reporting, but so that we can expect that this month. It's going to look a little bit like a budget process, but it's not going to be a budget process. So what it basically does, it gives staff the roadmap to what the alders' priorities are and what projects they would like for them to look into. You will eventually see those projects though on a future CIP or capital improvement plan or in the budget. So this is certainly just the beginning. not the end. And once they put something into writing, does not mean that they're going to do it. It's just outlining priorities.
And these are funds that you actually have to use. So they can't,
Yes.
the city can't store the funds or put them away for a rainy
Correct.
day. It's a
Correct.
use it. I don't think it's a use it or lose it, but it's a use it situation for
It is
for certain.
it is a little bit where they have to have contracts and bids signed for the money if they're doing projects by 2024. And then you would have to use that money that was, contracted or bidded out by 2026. So it is a little bit of use it or lose it. But the way the rules are written, it's pretty easy to use it for a lot of things. So I don't think as the city should have a problem finding $6 million to spend. So
Yep. It's being done all over the state and United States. So it's it's not something that's not just happening here. So we'll keep you up to date on those projects. All right, finally, COVID, it's in the air, it's everywhere, and I'm not saying that just to be funny, but it definitely, we have seen numbers increase. We almost talk about it every single day on Talking Fitchburg, Kimberly, and the numbers are really high in Fitchburg and Verona. Tell us what you know.
Yeah, so I am going to turn into a little bit of a mother right now. I know that everyone is sick and tired of hearing about COVID, sick and tired of hearing about the Omicron variant in general, but it's important to know that the pandemic is not over, and especially knowing what the Fitchburg area numbers are so that you can make smart decisions for what is right for you and your family. So the numbers I'm about to rattle off are only numbers that have been reported through the State Department of Health Services and Dane County Public Health. These numbers don't include a rapid test that was only taken at home and then didn't make it into the state data. This doesn't include cases where someone said, oh, well, my family members got COVID, so I guess I must have it too, and then never got tested. But so for full transparency, Jeremy and I are talking here at 1 o'clock on Friday. And so I don't have Thursday's numbers yet because they will arrive in a little less than an hour. But so from Monday to Wednesday this week, we had 226 new cases of COVID just in City of Fitchburg residents alone, and 92 of those cases came from Wednesday. So it is definitely here. It is definitely there's a chance you're going to get exposed. So it's time to make smart decisions. So where the school districts are concerned, they're not seeing a whole lot of transmission in the schools, but winter breaks certainly contributed to a lot of cases. In last week's time, VASD Verona saw half of its student cases that were reported to be positive. Those occurred between January 3rd and January 7th. In that same time frame, Oregon saw a fourth of its cases diagnosed in that time as well. So I sound really doom and gloom right now, but some positives from today and this data on Friday. We have seen a 13-person decrease in who are hospitalized in our local hospitals, which is good. We don't know if it'll stay that way, but seeing decreases means that less strain on hospital staff. And then the average daily number of cases in Dane County has decreased today for the first time in over a month. Whether it stays that way is left to be seen, but that's still good news. I figured out I was going to give you a bunch of bad news. I might as well supplement it with some good news too. And I'll wrap this up here by saying that you can get free COVID-19 testing at the Fitchburg Family Pharmacy. Bright Dental just opened up free COVID testing, and there is no appointment necessary. And Public Health Madison-Dane County, while you do have to schedule an appointment because they are no longer a federal site, they now have 1,000 appointments available, and they have just reopened the Alliant Energy Center testing. It's much smaller than it was before because it's now not a federal site and they're not getting federal funds to run it, but that is now another option for people as well. So
That is a walk-up service too. It's not a drive-through service. Just so you know. So stay safe on that. I'll also throw out there too. We got another one in called Django DX. Django DX at 2997 Yarmouth Greenway Drive here in Fitchburg. So that one also you do not need an appointment. So we're really lucky, as I've been saying on Talking Fitchburg, and we're lucky to have you. Although you can't say positive, like I've got some positive news after talking about positive cases. That just doesn't work.
That's true.
I'm calling you out. I am calling you out on that one.
My last piece of advice though is if you do take an at-home test and it shows that you are positive, please go get a PCR test where your results are then recorded in state data. Because if you do end up having long-term COVID effects and would need to register for something like disability as a result, it's really important to have that paper trail so that insurance knows that yes, you actually had COVID. So it's really important, even though you know you have COVID and you took an at-home test and you're already like, I don't want to go sit in a line when I'm not feeling good. It is really important to have a paper trail and show that you tested positive for it, because it might be what allows you to get disability claims in the future. So that's my other piece.
You are being a mom. I like it.
Also eat your vegetables and and don't cross the street without looking both ways. So
okay, Mom, you're overdoing it. Okay, geez. All right, Kimberly, if people want to learn more or keep up on exactly what you're working on for stories, where can we learn and find more?
Oh, absolutely. You can find us on fitchburgstar.com. To go along with the big long rant I had about COVID a minute ago, we do update COVID numbers every Tuesday at noon. So if you're checking Facebook or you're checking Twitter, or you just remember there's something that clicks at noon on Tuesday, you're like, I wonder if I should go check the Fitchburg Star website. We'll have updated COVID numbers for you there too, plus other stories about what's happening around Fitchburg. So that's fitchburgstar.com. And if you have a bookmark to our old website, don't go to it. It'll take you nowhere.
All right, going nowhere is no, I'm going to stop right there and say thank you so much for your help, Kimberly. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Happy New Year to you, and we look forward to talking to you next month.
Absolutely.
Or it's probably not even a month. It'll be a few weeks out.
What about 2 weeks from now?
Surprise. We have something to talk about right after we get off here. So bummer for you. No, I was kidding. We'll see in a few weeks. All right. Kimberly, like I said, check out the Fitchburg Star's website and their social media to stay up on the latest in Fitchburg news. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.